Hey,
What's going on?
what are you doing?
Oh, I'm ready to get in the shower.
Yeah, I already know you're scheduled to a freaking T. I was like,
Yeah,
she's either just got done cleaning the bathroom or she's gonna take a shower.
just just got done cleaning the bathroom.
Exactly.
That's my schedule.
Yeah. How's Dad?
He's doing all right. He's reading the book. He's been reading books.
Can I see him?
Oh,
How you doing?
Oh, doing real good. Doing a lot of reading.
Yeah. How's your leg?
Well, thank you. A lot better than it was.
I can't see him, Mom.
That's slowly getting better. But
You staying busy? What kind of books you reading?
what kind of
oh, one by Hannity, everything about Obama, what the left is doing to the United States.
Yeah. Well, hey, Mom's catching up to you. She's a year closer to your age now.
Yeah, she's 65, losing her hair, getting scrappy. When you have your arms down, you're showing a little bit of, when your facial expression. So you got a plus going for you there, thanks to your mom.
Yeah, the only thing is that I have your leg. Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. This is going to be a very different style video. And I think that I don't really talk about my parents a lot, right? I don't talk about my family a lot. You know, if you watch my Philippines vlogs, you've seen a ton of my mom's side of the family, which I adore greatly. And I know that they're watching this video right now, so shout out to you guys. I love you guys. But I've never really brought up my dad on the channel. I've never really brought up my dad on social media, let alone do I not even have that many pictures with them. And you know, as we go through this vlog, I'll start putting up on the screen kind of pictures of myself and my dad kind of through the years growing up. But it's one of those relationships that, you know, through the years growing up, it was never a good relationship with my dad, right? Never really was at all. And I think as I've matured and kind of gotten to this point where I am right now, it's really made me actually understand how much of a role model, how much of a leader, and how much he has actually shaped this person that you see speaking to this camera today. And that's exactly why I wanted to make this video. And I always talk about my why, and I always talk about what got me started in the fitness. But you know, as I move forward, it's more of a deeper rooted reason why, as to why I'm continuing to do what I'm doing, continuing to work so hard, continuing to push myself to be the very best at what I do. And I smile when I say that, because that's something that my dad's always told me growing up, that, you know, I didn't really take seriously until now. It's like, hey, if you're gonna do something, make sure that you love it, right? All you need is an alarm clock and good health, right, to do what you love doing. And once you find something that doesn't feel like work, and you can do it every single day, and you strive to be the very best at it, that's where you've won. And that's something that my dad has always said going up to me, and I never took it serious until right now. It's like, wow, that makes sense, right? And so my dad, he owned his own grading company, his own excavation company, where he moved dirt in Omaha, Nebraska. It was essentially a monopoly in a sense, because he was the only one doing that. So he was born in 1933. My dad is 88 years old, right? He was born in Messina, Iowa. And he started his own grading company in his 40s, and he had 90 employees working for him. And he basically built the entire city of Omaha from the ground up. So with that in mind, I grew up in a situation to where he was, 60 when I was first born, and we're in his 60s when I was first born, and he was in a very financially well-off position. You know, he came from a point to where he grew up in poverty. He grew up during the Great Depression in 1933 on a farm, right? So he came from literally nothing. So that's why he protects his money super hard, and he hates when I spend my money. That's always been like the biggest culprit. He would get so pissed at me every time I would spend my money when I was living with him. But he's always had that scarcity kind of mindset, but it put him in a position to where I was growing up to provide for our family very well. And that's something that I'm incredibly blessed to have grown up in. And you know, we've traveled the world together. I've been to 49 states, I've been to 36 countries, and that's because of my dad, right? When we traveled to the Philippines, my mom's side of the family, they did not have really any good living situation, right? It was on a rice paddy. It was like hand-built home. And you know, he decided in, I believe, was it 2008, when I was down there, and I can put up pictures of this, to tear down the entire thing and build them a brand new home, a brand new complex for my grandma, for her whole family. And just, at the time when I was at that age, I didn't realize how crazy that was. But now what I'm realizing is that I'm in a position to where I feel like I have everything I need in my life. And I know that sounds crazy to say, but I don't need much. And in reality, I'm in a place where I want to give, right? I just brought on 2 new coaches to Beyond Built and have provided them full-time incomes. I'm getting one of our coaches to, move to Phoenix this year, one of our coaches to move back to Los Angeles this year. One of my, people on the Beyond Built team right now had just made the decision to drop out of school. And it's actually making me realize that how much of an impact I can actually have on the world. And a lot of that is actually realizing how much my dad inspires me to do that right now. And just seeing that he's been able to have that impact on our family and provide. He bought my sister 6 acres, a home with 6 acres back in Omaha. It's either 6 or 11 acres that she has. It's ridiculous, but he's just been able to provide for us and provide me, an amazing childhood and been an amazing leader. Even though I pretty much hated him growing up, it's made me realize who he shaped me to become. And when I first came to him and I was like, "Yo, Dad, fitness is kind of the thing I want to do. I don't want to do school." And he was someone that pushed me to be a financial advisor, to go into business. And, I was like his prodigy child, going to be the first one to graduate college. And he just told me, he's like, "Okay." My mom, on the other hand, completely bawled. She lost it, right? She was even disappointed, but my dad just completely understood it. And I think it was that kind of moment to where I realized that wow, he actually understands me. And one thing that my dad's always told me growing up is that he was really disappointed in me, in a sense, with kind of decisions I was making, and the attitude and the way I talked to him. Was a very, very, very hard-headed kid. If I wasn't hard-headed, I wouldn't be even in this chair right now, though, because when I fucking want something, I'm gonna go get it, right? And I've had that in me since I was a kid. But I think that to this day, I think I can finally say, and he can finally say, that he's proud of me. And for me to live my whole entire childhood without having that sense of feeling from him, but now having it now, I wouldn't trade that for anything else. And I think that's really helped shape me. And my dad he's 88 years old. In 2005, he had his first heart attack, and I didn't even know how to react, right? And even growing up, I didn't even know how to react and take that seriously. And he'd tell me, he's like, "Dad, Chad, you're gonna kill me early. You give me so much stress." And that's literally just the child I was. I was a fucking brat, right? And since moving out, since dropping out, since moving here, our relationship, even with my mom, has gotten just a hell of a lot better. And I think that's definitely rooted from him finally being proud of me and seeing me pursue something that I really like. He's fully supporting me in my business, fully supporting me in wanting to compete. He says, "Hey, keep competing." He even told me, "I'm "Oh, just keep competing." And that's all the motivation that I need to continue competing as well. Just right there, that was just another moment. So, very, very grateful for the relationship I had with them, have with them. But it was 2 years ago in the winter where I was still living at home, and he decided to take the trash out when it was really icy on the driveway. I don't know what he was thinking, but he fell down and he actually broke a couple vertebrae in his back. And that was at a point where he was 87, he was healthy. He has heart disease. He has heart disease right now. But when he fell down, he's lost 30 pounds since then. He's became pretty frail, and he's been on the steady decline. He's recovering from what he thought was a blood clot in the back of his knee, but it wasn't. So he's just going through a lot of tough times. And it's crazy to think that sometimes in the back of my head, I'm like, I could lose him, at any point. And but the thing is, that doesn't shake me. It shakes me a little bit. I'm definitely starting to get a little bit emotional right now, but I feel like I've fulfilled not only my destiny, but he's fulfilled his destiny in a sense to where he can finally be proud of me. And there's one thing that would really bother me if he were to pass, and we would not have this relationship right now where it's been. If he were to pass and our relationship was the way it was when I was growing up and when I was living there, that would not settle well with me, but now I feel like, you know, he's given his all to raising me right. He's given his all to raising his kids right. He's given his all to his employees, to his own business. And, you know, a lot of him shows in me. And that's something that I've truly come to realize. And I think that is my real reason why. And I'm 22 years old and I'm giving this thing all I've got. And one of my biggest motivators is my own father. And that's something that I really haven't brought up to you guys. And one thing to take into consideration is, like, some people might think I work too hard, like I focus too hard. And the thing is like, I'm not even searching for a relationship or anything like that, or settling for any means, because I'm understanding how grateful and how blessed I was to be in a position to grow up and travel the world, grow up and have that role model, grow up and have a father who he lived his life, he lived his purpose, he fulfilled his own dreams, his own destiny, right? And was the very best at what he did. And having that role model is the father that I want to become. And that's crazy to even say that. I'm 22 years old, but like, when I become a father and I have a family, I want to be that role model for my child. I want to tell him to pursue what he's truly passionate about in this world, because that's how everyone should live their life, is to have that happiness. But I also want to be able to provide. I don't want to be able to stress. I just want to give. I just want to give back. I want to build schools in the Philippines. You know, I want to buy my son or my daughter an awesome first car. You know what I mean? Like, if they want to go to school, I want to be able to support them and pay for the school, because my dad paid for my school for 3 years, right? I want to be able to position to provide that. And I know that if I wasn't doing what I'm doing right now, I wouldn't be able to position to do that. And so my dad has been, you know, he is my number one biggest inspiration in life right now. And it's crazy to say this on camera right now, because even last year, I wouldn't have been able to say that to you. And it's just, when things start to come in fruition, I always say this: a really good leader, you'll hate them now, but you'll love them later. And that's exactly how I feel about him. And it's crazy to think 21 years passed where I didn't like him, and now I love him to death. So that's just the message that I wanted to share with you guys today. And you know, if you were grateful enough to have both a father and a mother growing up, you need to think about that too, and think about how much they can actually shape you as an individual. But you know, a lot of my qualities, a lot of my leadership qualities, a lot of everything that I do is, you know, very much centered around my father. And if there's anything that he's taught me in life, it's say, hey, you know, focus on you and focus on being the very best version of yourself. And he's always been there to support me. He might not have been proud of me. He might have really been annoyed with me growing up. But, you know, to be able to say that he's proud of me to this day is something that definitely brings out a little bit of emotion. But I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him and the lessons that he taught me. So, Dad, I fucking love you. I know you probably didn't want to hear me say that F word, but you know what? That's who your son is. Thank you for watching this video.